Every push-up you've ever done might have been building the wrong muscles, and nobody told you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and this video so that others can benefit. Push-ups are one of the most practiced movements in fitness history. They require no equipment, no gym, no setup. You can do them anywhere, at any time. And because of that accessibility, most people assume they already know how to do them correctly. They don't. Not because the movement is complicated, it isn't, but because there are several specific mechanical errors so deeply embedded in how most people perform push-ups that they've become normalized. These errors don't just reduce the effectiveness of the exercise. They redirect muscular effort away from the muscles you're actually trying to develop, and over time, they quietly build dysfunctional patterns that show up as shoulder pain, wrist strain, and a chest that doesn't seem to grow no matter how many reps you accumulate. Understanding what's actually going wrong and why changes the exercise entirely. The elbow problem. Nobody addresses. The first and most widespread error happens at the elbows. Most people flare their elbows outward at roughly 45 to 90 degrees from the torso when they lower into a push-up. It feels natural because it opens the chest and reduces the sensation of difficulty in the early range of the movement. But that elbow position places the shoulder joint in a mechanically compromised angle, one that loads the anterior shoulder capsule rather than distributing force evenly across the joint structures designed to handle it. Over time, this contributes to the shoulder impingement and rotator cuff irritation that so many regular push-up practitioners experience and incorrectly attribute to overuse or volume. The correction is to tuck the elbows closer to the body, somewhere between 30 and 45 degrees from the ribcage. This isn't just a safer position, it's a stronger one. With the elbows tracked closer to the torso, the triceps and the lower fibers of the pectoral muscle engage far more effectively throughout the entire range of motion. The movement becomes harder immediately, which is exactly the point. If your push-ups got easier when you started flaring your elbows, you weren't getting stronger. You were finding a mechanical shortcut that reduced muscular demand. What your hands are doing matters more than you think. Here's something almost nobody talks about in the context of push-ups: the relationship between hand position and shoulder stability. When your hands are placed flat on the floor with no intentional muscular engagement, the wrist and shoulder are essentially passive. The load travels through them rather than being controlled by them. This is why so many people experience wrist discomfort during push-ups. The joint is absorbing force that active muscular engagement should be managing. The fix is a concept called external rotation torque. Before you lower into a single rep, place your hands on the floor and attempt to rotate them outward, as if you're trying to screw them into the ground. Your hands won't actually move, but the muscular activation this intention creates through the forearm, the elbow, and into the shoulder capsule is significant. The shoulder immediately stabilizes. The chest and triceps pre-activate. The wrist stops being a passive hinge and becomes a structurally supported joint. This one adjustment, which requires no change in hand position and no additional equipment, transforms the mechanical quality of every rep that follows. People who apply it for the first time often describe the push-up as feeling completely different. Not easier. Completely different. The range of motion illusion. Most people believe they're performing full push-ups. Most people aren't. A true full-range push-up requires the chest to make contact with or come within a breath of the floor on every single repetition. Not a chin drop, not a nose hover. The sternum, the point of the chest, approaching the surface beneath it. The reason this matters isn't just about range of motion for its own sake. The bottom position of a push-up, the deepest point of the lowering phase, is where the pectoral muscle is under its greatest stretch and, simultaneously, under load. This combination of stretch and tension is one of the most potent signals for muscle fiber recruitment and subsequent adaptation. Cutting the range short by even 2 or 3 inches consistently eliminates the most productive portion of every rep. More push-ups done through partial range will always produce inferior results to fewer push-ups done through complete range. This is not an opinion. It's basic muscle physiology. The tension principle. Most people skip entirely. There's a final layer to push-up mechanics that separates genuinely effective training from repetition for its own sake. Before and during every push-up, the body should be treated as a single rigid unit. Glutes contracted, abs braced as if preparing to absorb a blow, quads engaged, the lower back held in a neutral position, not sagging toward the floor, not piked toward the ceiling. Most people focus entirely on the chest and arms during push-ups and allow everything from the hips downward to go passive. What this does is remove full body tension from the equation and create a mobile midsection that leaks force, meaning the muscles you're trying to train are working against a structurally compromised base. Full body tension during a push-up isn't cosmetic. It's the foundation that makes the chest, shoulder, and tricep engagement actually meaningful. Without it, you're not doing a push-up. You're doing a partial upper body movement attached to a body that isn't participating. Conclusion: push-ups are not a beginner exercise you graduate away from. Executed correctly, with controlled elbow path, active external rotation, full range of motion, and total body tension, they are one of the most demanding and effective upper body movements in existence. The version most people are doing isn't wrong because they lack effort. It's wrong because nobody ever broke down what the movement is actually supposed to feel like and why each detail exists. Now you know. And that changes every push-up from this point forward. Start with 10. Slow, deliberate, technically precise. Notice where the effort goes. Notice how different it feels. Then build from there, because 10 real push-ups will always outperform 50 incomplete ones.